Good evening, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing for you Man of Steel, the new Superman movie that just came out on DVD. I also saw it in the theater, so here we go. And I'm going to compare this a little bit to Superman Returns, which Superman Returns was very much in the style of the old Superman movies with Christopher Reeves. I didn't really try to do anything new with it. It was kind of campy. It had awesome action sequences and, a wonderful performance by Kevin Spacey playing, oh God, why can't I remember his name? Playing the bald guy, one of the most popular villains from Superman. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name? Anyways, it'll come back to me. But yeah, so this is Lex Luthor, of course. That's his name, Lex Luthor, of course. Sorry, I'm not that, well informed about Superman. I don't know much about the other movies, so kind of slipped my mind for a moment there. But here's my review on this movie, Man of Steel. This movie got very mixed reviews. Half the people really loved this movie. Half the people hated it. There wasn't much middle ground with this. I have to say I was on the side that pretty much loved this. There are a few flaws in this, but other than that, I thought it was an excellent movie. What I really like about this movie is it really tries to do something new with the Superman myth. The old musical score is not even there. It's got a totally different musical score, a totally different look. And it's much more gritty and also much darker, this film. Henry Cavill plays Superman here, and I thought he was fantastic. I've seen a lot of images of Superman from the comics, and from what I've seen, Henry Cavill looks very close to what Superman looked like in the comics. Superman's this really big, buff guy with huge muscles, and has kind of tougher features, and is very handsome too, and he really embodies that. Henry Cavill, like, he's so huge it almost doesn't look real, but it's all natural muscle that he got. Like, he worked out for 6 months to do this film, and he doesn't say much in the movie. He's very soft-spoken, and not as funny, I guess, as the Superman in the other films. He has more of inward kind of intensity to him and more of a brute strength, I guess you could say. But I thought he was really good. Amy Adams is Lois Lane. She was great too. She made a very tough and fearless Lois Lane in this. Very determined to find out the truth of who Superman is. And Michael Shannon playing Zod in this. General Zod is Superman's arch nemesis, pretty much. He's a Kryptonian, like Superman is. They basically super enhanced, very human-like beings that live on the planet Krypton. In case those of you who don't know the origin of this, the Superman myth. And Zod is the commander on his planet, and I'll tell you about this story after I talk about the characters, but Zod is a very formidable villain in this. I thought Michael Shannon was amazing in this role. I thought all the actors were amazing, but Michael Shannon was just such a formidable villain in this. He's a very cut and dry villain in this. There's not much middle ground with him. No middle ground at all, really. He's like, I'm the villain, this is what I'm going to do, and nothing's going to stop me. So he's very much a brutal force and unstoppable. So, and Michael Shannon really has the physical presence for Zod too. He has such a, like, he's very handsome, but he has this really tough face, and he has these very striking eyes, and especially there's moments when he looks up into the camera, and it's scary. Like, just his expression and his eyes, like his absolute determination. And also his total brutality and lack of compromise or mercy, is what defines him as a character. So, and Russell Crowe playing Jor-El in this, Superman's father. in real life, like from their planet Krypton. He plays Superman's father. And Russell Crowe is great in everything he does, and he was great as Jor-El in this, and I thought he was the best person to play him, and he's so kind of sympathetic and very intense, and you know, his motives are so good in this, which I'll describe later when I describe the story, you know, in the filming of it. But Russell Crowe is a fantastic actor in anything he does. Even if the movie itself isn't the greatest, he always gives a very powerful and performance that's full of presence. Because he's just has a lot of presence as an actor any way you look at it. So he was great in this film. Who else can I talk about here? Kevin Costner plays Superman's dad in this. On planet Earth though, like he's his human father. He was great too. I mean, Kevin Costner's a great actor. All these actors, like the whole lineup, they're all really great actors. So, and overall did a really great job in this. And Kevin Costner, you know, he plays a wonderful father figure to Kent Clark, Superman's human name. Yeah, there's a lot of discussions between him and Superman in the film, especially when Superman's a young boy growing up on our human world, and it's very philosophical, everything his father says to him, and you know, he's just trying to like, he accepts Superman as being, like, he knows there's something about Superman that's totally not human, and yet, because he has all these powers, you know, that are far beyond that of any normal human being, and yet he totally accepts his son and lavishes love and affection on him, and tries to keep his powers a secret from the world, because he knows if it got out, everybody, like, he would be put in a lab and experimented on, and while they wouldn't be able to keep him in a lab, he would just break out. But his, you know, the whole world would just be transformed by it, and, you know, and the question is the world ready, you know? And that question is more deeply explored in this, like, is the world ready, I think, than in any other Superman film. Lawrence Fishburne plays, you know, the head of the Daily Planet where Lois Lane works, and he was great too. I mean, another great actor with great presence. Yeah, he doesn't have a very big role in this, but he was great too, Lawrence Fishburne. And the story is basically Superman's origin story. Krypton is about to implode, well, not implode, but explode, because of their core is going critical. It's almost like Moses being set adrift in a basket. His parents, Russell Crowe playing Jor-El, and I don't know who the woman is playing his mother, they have no choice but to set him adrift and send him to this other planet, which ends up being planet Earth, which is the only planet they can find nearby that has intelligent life. So, yeah, he's basically sent to our planet, and he grows up living amongst humans with his human parents, and it's told in flashbacks, like the story of his childhood and how he grew up, and especially there's a lot of interaction with him and Kevin Costner playing his father, and he slowly begins to find out the truth of what he is, and that he's not human. In fact, he's from another world, although he doesn't really know what he is or what his purpose is, so it explores all that. It's told in a lot of flashbacks. You also see Superman as, you know, a man just going from job to job, kind of. He's a logger for a while, and then he's working in this, like, kind of bar, you know. And he keeps having to go from place to place, basically, because every time something happens, you know, where people are in peril or in danger, he's always rescuing them. And people are always seeing that he has these superpowers, so he has to keep moving from place to place so that people don't, you know, can't really find out what he really is. You know, he always leaves before anyone can investigate what he's doing, you know. And so it shows a lot of scenes with him rescuing people, even though he's not aware of what he is yet, but he knows he has all these powers, so. And then later, like it starts as a drama, kind of, it's a little slow, but then as it gets into the second half of the movie, it starts to get more and more exciting. Like General Zod, basically, at the beginning, he attempts a coup against planet Krypton and tries to take it back using force. And it's almost like he falls, almost like Satan falling from heaven, almost, I guess you could say, General Zod. Because, you know, Lucifer was an angel before he fell, and that's kind of the idea with Zod. He decides to go in business for himself with his sub-commander Theora, who's another really tough Kryptonian that's like basically his second in command. And they attempt a coup to take over Krypton, but of course the core goes critical. But he kills Jyrell, and he murders him in a fit of rage. And him and all his all his people are banished to the Outlands, or the Darklands, I believe it's called, which is basically this dimension that exists outside of our space-time. And but when Krypton explodes, they're basically set free from that dimension. And Zod, you know, made a promise that, you know, after Superman was sent off to that planet, he's like, I'll find him and destroy him. And of course Zod does keep his promise. He finds Earth and comes to it with the plan of destroying Superman and taking over our world and making it into the new Krypton. So let me see how much time I got left on my camera. I might have to do this as a part 2. Yeah, I do. So I will be back in a few minutes to do part 2. So there's a lot to talk about with this movie. So I'll be back. Bye-bye.